Hey everyone, my name is Simpsy. How you all doing? Welcome to episode 2 of my Total War Rome 2 DEI Divide et Impera Sulla campaign on the Mithridatic War scenario. Still continuing with the main objective of trying to defeat Marius and his loyalists. I hope you all enjoy. Alright, first things off, we're going to be kicking things off here today with a battle with CRASSUS putting down a rebellion, which I think is quite fitting, as CRASSUS gained a lot of infamy in the third Servile War against Spartacus, which we're going to be talking about here today. So, who was Marcus Licinius Crassus? He was a wealthy and influential Roman politician and military leader who lived during the late Roman Republic. He was born in 115 BC and rose to prominence through his successful business ventures, including the acquisition of vast lands and establishment of his own private army. In the late 60s BC, Crassus joined the First Triumvirate, a political alliance between Gaius Julius Caesar, Pompey the Great, and himself, which dominated Roman politics for several years. In 73 BC, the Third Servile War broke out in Italy, a massive slave revolt led by the gladiator Spartacus, who threatened the stability of the Roman Republic. Crassus was appointed the main commander of the Roman forces tasked with putting down this rebellion. He led a brutal campaign against the slaves, who were eventually defeated in 71 BC. The defeat of the slave rebellion marked a significant victory for Crassus, who gained immense popularity and prestige as a result. Despite his military success, Crassus struggled to find a place in the power structure of the Roman Republic. He saw himself as a rival to Gaius Julius Caesar, who was gaining increasing power and influence. In 53 BC, Crassus led an ill-fated expedition against the Parthian Empire in an attempt to increase his standing and prestige. The expedition was a disaster, and unfortunately Crassus was killed in the battle and process. The legacy of Marcus Licinius Crassus is complex. On one hand, he was a wealthy and influential politician who played a significant role in the power struggles of the late Republic. On the other hand, he was known for his brutal repression of the Third Servile War, which was a turning point in the history of Roman slavery. Despite his controversial legacy, to say the least, Crassus remains a fascinating figure, in my opinion, in Roman history. His life to this day is still studied and debated by scholars and historians. So let me know in the comments, what do you think about Crassus? Was he a Chad? Was he a beta? I don't mind Crassus. I quite liked the actor who played him in that Spartacus show. I think it's Simon Myrtles, or whatever his name is. Although that show in itself has some problems, I think his acting of Crassus was actually quite good. What do you reckon? Let me know. Far better than what Julius Caesar was in that show, who was like some frat boy, essentially. Jeez. Alright, back to the battle now. Not overly too complicated. We've marched into a solid position out of the tree line, and now we can just sit in our formation and try and hold. At the end of the day, not the most well-trained or equipped soldiers we're facing. Mostly rebellious gladiators and whatever they can round up from the countryside. So, once we've put down this rebellion, it should be able to free up Crassus to move north. But we do have to be a little bit careful with giving some of these generals prestige and renown, as unfortunately we can't seem to, like, ideally you'd want to try and marry them into Sulla's line. You don't want them splitting off, making their own faction, or potentially trying to carve out or civil war out. Alright. But so far, most of my army's professional. I've got some lighter cohort and some spearmen as well that we recruited early on. But Crassus is holding well. Just going to get his cavalry commanded on the left flank here. So as long as we don't send Crassus east against the Parthians, he should be alright fighting in and around Italy. It'd be funny if we got like a bonus fighting in Italy or something. Alright, some of the rebellious scum under Spartacus's banner are retreating. It also, like, timeline-wise sort of works out as well. So I guess this is sort of our Servile War that we got going, which is kind of cool that it popped up. You got to be careful in the Mithridatic Wars scenario for this. There's just countless rebellions and uprisings. Just because the empire is so large at this point, you've just got such an influx of this pop. Okay, so we're going to start enveloping now, and hopefully now that we've pinned them with the front line of our infantry, we can swing around and entrap them. Nice. We've only got one cavalry unit because these legionaries have been mostly focusing on sieges. So we'll try and cycle charge with this one, and then we'll try and work our way down the main line. The centre's still holding, but unfortunately for the enemy, their flanks are capitulating. Let's give out some more attack orders here. Move out of formation. Alright. Some of them have rallied, but just trying to mop up the last of them now. There's no way they're going to be able to win this one. Nice. Only a handful holding now. And unfortunately, their front line has capitulated. We do want to try and run down as many of them as we can. Gives us the option to get the captives or potentially ransom them. Okay. Not all of them have capitulated. The general unit and another have recovered. Nice. We've won the battle, so let's continue. Oh, CRASSUS actually took some damage. Yeesh. I didn't even notice how, yeah. He should be okay, though, to charge on in. If I got a notification of him being taken out, we would have heard it. But he's okay. Alright. We're quite lucky that we found an opening in this battlefield. We were sort of down on the slope. A lot of thick Italian tree line and foliage and forest. But we've won a glorious victory here today. Right, let's end that one there. A decisive victory for CRASSUS. The rebellion has been put down. And hopefully that's the last of these wars. Hopefully it's the third and final servile war. And hopefully not the first in this alternative timeline. So the uprising has been officially crushed. Ooh, Lepidus wants to be adopted. Oh no, we can't allow that. Would they be interested in peace? No. It's always worth checking. Although, like, the main objective of this series was to take Rome, we've done that. We do want to try and crush and kill Marius and his loyalists, but hey, if we can take a break from the war here and there to recover, and then it's like take a break in the winter, replenish and repair when war weariness kind of sets in, and then go with a summer or spring offensive, why not? We can have multiple peace breaks. Like, sometimes it's strategically viable to do that. Anyway, we've got CRASSUS going down here to Cassentia, and finally, for the first time so far, there hasn't been a legion floating around that area. I don't know where it is. I can't see it in the fog of war. It's probably down in Sicily. But we're going to be able to use that now, and we might make plans and preparations to take Sicily, but we'll see. I do want to move Lepidus now with another army, and okay. I just want to get Sulla to scout ahead in Mediolanum. His army's quite weak after taking Patavium, so we're going to need more reinforcements. There's probably no... It's not a bad idea for us to siege us. They might even come out against us, we'll see. Oh, and they have during the end turn phase. We're a little bit depleted, but I actually think this could be winnable, potentially. It's only a garrison force. And I do want to try and take Mediolanum before more legions come on in. Alright, let's fight this one. It's bucketing down with rain. This is going to be tough. We are not favoured to win this one whatsoever. But it is a garrison force, and hopefully Sulla is the superior commander. Because we've crushed 2 full legions. The quicker we can take these settlements, the better, because we don't want any more coming on in. Although there's a buffer state in Massalia who we're not at war with. They are a client state of Marius. And they will be flooding troops from southern France and Iberia. Just going to get my cavalry to try and target their skirmishers and harass them. Sulla's under attack. We're in a holding formation. Now, they are attacking us at the end of the day, so hopefully we should be able to hold. The Roman formations in DEI are just incredibly overpowered. Watch out for this swordsman, but we seem to be working their skirmish as well. If we could neutralize those full skirmisher units, that would be terrific. But the garrison from Mediolatium has now come out. Oh, hang on. There we go. Oh, geez, Sulla might get caught here. Boot and scoot, please. No, I was going to say go to the edge of the battlefield, but they're not going to be able to retreat. Just come, yeah, intertwine with you. We've got some infantry sitting back here. Nah, okay. Well, unfortunately, my cavalry's now been crushed. And now it's up to Sulla and the remaining infantry units. It's currently pouring down with rain. It's going to make the terrain quite sluggish and the combat slow, and actually might be to our advantage. Because we just need to sort of hold and chip away at them. I've just moved Sulla here between this unit. Because a decent volley would probably wreck him. If we can sort of intertwine him and protect him with that infantry, it's probably not a bad idea. But once we get Cisalpine Gaul fully under our control, that's the entirety of the peninsula, controlled by Sulla and the boys, which is massive. If we can get all the Cisalpine Gaul, make sure we trade off, get non-aggression pacts with the barbarians to the north, we're laughing. We're going to be able to hold and throw anything back. Then we might need to draw plans and preparations for the invasion of Massalia. Oh my god, Sulla is so low here. Maybe I've bitten off more than I can chew here. This is going to be a tough one. I don't know if this is winnable. Just too weak. My infantry to a man. We are depleting the garrison quite a bit. To be fair, we might be able to... If we can deal enough damage, we might be able to come back. With the mercenaries, then take it. Because Lepidus is right nearby. Yeah, we couldn't allow that adoption to go through, by the way. It was definitely worth paying that. Lepidus is married to my adopted daughter, yes. Not my biological. Technically, he's my adoptive son-in-law. Technically. Ideally. Well, yeah, I guess if Sulla dies, he becomes the next in line, eh? Because Sulla is quite old at this point, 57. So depending on how long this war goes, we might need to set a succession plan. Because the kids are quite young. Who should rule after Sulla? Crassus? He'd think he'd be the man for the job. Lepidus. Pompey. Oh god. Maybe if it turns into a full-on civil war, which it probably will do. After Marius. We're looking good in this left pocket, in the right as well. We might be able to pull this off, you know. Oh, maybe not. We were doing good there, and it just fell apart. This is a tough one. Just speeding things up, because like tactically there's not really much we can do. If Sulla was like a little bit more healthy, we might have been able to pull this one off, but it doesn't look good. Damn. Too ambitious, I think. We've picked off a little bit more than what we can chew. Yeah. We're not going to be able to win this one. Unfortunately. We might be able to come back with mercenaries now. No. Oh well. Yeah, I reckon she's GG's. You win some, you lose some. Big L. Sulla's going to get on the forehead for this one. And let's withdraw. Costly enemy victory. We did a decent amount of damage though. And we kind of baited them out. Although we lost, we inflicted a decent amount of casualties. Rather than actually sieging it. We might have to look at the mercenary pool. We'll see. Wait, what? Mission successful. Sulla's Civil War? That's a little bit presumptive. Oh, it's because we're taking the territory. Oh, we got a decent amount of money though, which is good. Okay. So we found the Legion. It's back at Syracuse. We'll get Crassus to replenish and repair. We've got some small rebellions popping up. We did damage the garrison quite a bit. And we'll try and get some of the fellow Gauls hanging around the Po Valley. Say, hey, you want to join this offensive? We'll get Lepidus to move in. Okay. Because we don't want Sulla to auto-resolve because it might knock him off. So bear with me. And we'll move Sulla back to get more infantry. So I think just... I guess would this work? Oh, I'd nearly take an auto-resolve if we could do it. Right, maybe we try round 2. Can we get any more mercs? Let's just get some basic cohort and infantry. Start chipping away continually. Oh, we've been attacked here down in Taurus. We've got some Hellenic loyalists wanting to secede from the Roman Empire. Taurus, obviously, a former Spartan colony, so they have a lot of connections to the Greek world. They've been put down. I'm going to move my spy to Massalia, just to get some intelligence. There's a full stack there. Yeah, Massalia is an absolute nightmare to take. Luckily, we weren't attacked during the end turn phase, and we're just going to try and focus on getting more mercenaries in. And we might have to allow Lepidus to take the win on this one. Get Sulla to ferry troops back and forth. Okay, nice. So, we'll take this. Oh, if we go... We allow more men. Well, we're the mercenaries, so I don't think it really matters. So, although Sulla lost on the battlefield, went with a tactical retreat, sent Lepidus, his son-in-law, to take Mediolanum. And now Genoa. Or Liguria. Still not under our control. Cool. Yeah, I think it's... like we lost a lot of men doing that, but it's probably worth... rather than sitting back and then fighting again. Now, we're going to be able to open up the vital trade lanes into Switzerland, Germany, and the essentially Germanic states. If we can bribe them with trade and commerce, we can hopefully try and keep them off our back. Especially when we're really weak. We've got a lot of goods to trade. We've got Italy and Greece now, so everyone loves me. Everyone wants to trade with me. Okay, so welcome to the top of the turn. Sulla's got 5 units in Legion 1 now. We'll push over the border to Genoa. Now, we were just there before, so I know there's no army there in the Fog of War. And we'll swing on over. I do want to phase out those mercenaries at some point when we can. But using them to quickly conquer Cisalpine Gaul is definitely worth. Oh, if we go with a protective stance, we actually lose straight up. Man, Roman garrisons are quite tough and difficult to deal with. Sometimes you just want to sort of take the tactical auto-resolve. And, look, you know what? I don't think we're going to be intercepted from Massalia, so we might even wait even longer. We might even siege them out. And see how they go. So we're dealing with the north. Still got Pompey in Taurus. Oh, they've actually moved the Legion to Cassentia. We could sabotage. I think we will. Oh, okay. They actually might hit Cassentia with Crassus in there with a full Legion. I'd be curious because that Legion has been incredibly passive in this series, going back and forth. Interesting. Oh, look, they've attacked. Well, we'll fight this one at the start of the next episode, so stay tuned for episode 3 coming out soon, where Marius has sent a legion against Crassus, who's going to try and hopefully defend the southern Italian peninsula for us. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Stay tuned for episode 3 coming out soon. If you enjoy this type of content, like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more content like this. If you want to see more from me, check out the videos on screen. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.